Hey everyone, it's Blair here at Time Trades. I want to do something a little different today and start off with a few slides that just kind of put all of the new innovations we've been delivering into context. We've introduced a few new tools such as the cheat code, and I wanted to explain a little bit my thoughts in terms of how these all fit together into a broader approach to analyzing the markets. So I'm going to start off with these slides here. And I kind of want to explain this in terms of an overall framework for time and price tools, with the most important ones being at the top and kind of the less important ones being at the bottom. So the most important, of course, is price. Price is how we get paid. It's how we manage risk. It's how we measure success. It's not really part of time trades yet. We've got some ideas and some thoughts around that, but it's not there in the product. It's also at the same time probably very, very well covered in the community. There's lots of great approaches to analyzing price, and it's by far the most well understood. In fact, a lot of very good traders, all they need is price. They don't need anything else. They don't need time. I myself am not one of those very good traders. I need more than price to get an edge. So that's where time trades comes in. So what this is things like levels, it's entries, it's exits, it's stop losses, it's all those very important elements that are necessary to be a successful trader. But going beyond price, I like to think of the next level down in terms of the next most important is context. And this is recognizing that not all time periods are the same. What are the tendencies and patterns and habits of certain time periods compared to others? And these may not be super precise, like down to a daily precision level, but certainly at a weekly or multi-day precision level, we can identify some key time periods. So these are things that are well served with some of the time trades innovations like cheat codes, like short-term waves, like Gann waves. These all help provide some of the important context in which you can make your trading decisions. And then finally, we've got the daily forecasts. And these are generated at a daily level of precision. They are also subject to inversions because sometimes these cycles do invert. Meaning that the last time a cycle hit, it was a low, and the next time it hits, time trades thinks it's going to be another low, but it turns out to be a high. Okay, so this is why these things have to be considered within the broader context of what's going on at a higher level. Okay, so these daily forecasts are things like the probabilities of pivot highs and pivot lows, probabilities of up days and down days. This is all part of the time trades solution. So when we take a look at context and daily forecasts, I'll give you a real life example of why context is so important and can help to inform your trading decisions. And the other side of that coin is also why it's important not to over rely too much on the daily forecast. Okay, so here's an example from last week. The QQQ forecast from November 16th is on the left, and this is showing I think it's was about a 65% probability of a pivot low on Friday, November 19th. Now, at the time on November 16th, price was at about 395, 397. Okay. What happened is the Qs kept on boosting up. Okay. So the price closed the week at just under 405, I think. You know, it touched the 405 level, maybe closed around 404. So obviously not a pivot low. Okay, so this daily forecast was not successful. However, if you take a step back and you use some of the contextual tools like the Gann waves, which are the yellow and blue stripes here, this makes sense because look at the habits of the Gann waves in the past. Okay, how many gamma waves do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yellows in total. Okay, so we've got 7 yellows in total, and almost all of them tend to be highs. I think we'll ignore that one. So this one in July was captured a high. The following one in August captured a high. Following in September captured a high. This one in October was the only low. That was in the middle of Mercury retrograde. And then November, we've got a high. And then here we are in November again, mid-November, we've got what's obviously going to be another high. So this is why it's so important to take advantage of these context tools that exist within time trades, because like 6 out of the 7 Gann wave yellow periods ended up being highs on the Qs. So that is why I put down contextual tools as being more important than the daily forecast. Okay, the daily forecasts are subject to precision, subject to inversions, and they have to be interpreted in the broader context that's going on, and that includes the Gann waves. The cheat code is interesting because it provides another tool to provide some context. So let's take a look at that. We're going to switch over to Bitcoin now. So this is Bitcoin. I'm going to put it on a 2-day bar. And we can see the habits of Bitcoin here. Right now we're in a purple box we're in a purple box in the cheat code. And the last time we were in a purple box, it was kind of choppy, right? Just sort of up and down. If there was any evidence of a trend, it kind of started shortly after the middle of the purple box. And then before that, it was December 2020. Again, it was kind of choppy, not a lot of range. But then once we hit the middle of the purple box, then we got a bit of a boost up. The other thing I noticed about purple boxes is they can sometimes act as sort of like portals to the next price level. So in this case, we've got price entering the bottom left of the purple box. We've got price exiting the top right of the purple box. And boom, Bitcoin launches from like 24K up into the next price level with a low of 30K, right? So go back in time, take advantage of the cheat code. I'll put a link to the cheat code script in the description. Play around with it in your own favorite symbols in that, and look for patterns like this that you can identify that can give you an edge. Here's another one that I'll share with you. It's Shopify. Shopify's got some real interesting patterns here on the cheat code. I'm going to drop down to a daily level. And if we scroll back in time here, we can see that this particular green period here has 2 midpoint bars. And I know they're not literally at the midpoint, but I still call them midpoint bars. But what's interesting here is how often the midpoint of a green period acts as a reversal, right? And it's not necessarily the bars per se, but the middle of the bars, obviously, right between those 2 bars, huge reversal day on September 17th, okay? So it draws out this big hammer with a low at 840, and then a month later, we're up at 1100, okay? So if you were prepared for this, that would have made your year in terms of options trading right there. Let's look at another one. So we can see again here, we've got this midpoint on March 2021, and it's not really a reversal, but it does stop this significant downtrend right here. Let's see if there's any other examples here. We've got a reversal here, but it's not a sharp daily reversal. This is on October 30th, 2021. Okay, so it's not a sharp daily reversal, but it does roll over into a low about 3/4 of the way through the green period. So key points I want you to look at is obviously the midpoint bar, as well as about 3/4 of the way through the green period. That's where we tend to get some major reversals. And now we're coming up into this purple period here for Shopify, and we've got a potential for that same kind of advance to a new price level that we were talking about with Bitcoin, where price enters the bottom left of a purple period, exits the top right of the purple period, and then we would establish a new price range up around 1700. Okay, so this is just how I like to use the cheat code. It's a very interesting, powerful indicator. It's not the kind of high resolution daily indicator, but it will certainly help give you an edge in terms of longer range timing. And let's close out with a few thoughts on Bitcoin here. Okay, so we've got Gann waves on in Bitcoin, and we can see how late in the yellow period we tend to get a little bit of a boost. So the late yellow coming up is going to be like November 24th, November 25th, around there. So we can look forward to maybe a little bit of a boost there, but keep in mind we are in that purple period. I wouldn't expect any major boosts in Bitcoin until we're more than halfway through that purple period. So I'm looking forward to a little bit more chop here until we get halfway through purple. Okay, so I've got one last thing I want to share with you guys. A bit of an announcement I want to make is the paid version of Time Trades is going to be launching on December 9th. So we're about 2 weeks away from that. This will include the cheat code TradingView script, as well as other TradingView scripts like the Gann waves, which will change to invite only at that time. There's going to be a 7-day free trial, no credit card needed to get started. After that, the price will be $30 US per month, and there will be a discounted price for 1 year that we haven't quite finalized yet. So that's coming up. So I hope that you will continue to use Time Trades as we make this transition to a paid version. And that's it for me for this week. Thanks again. Thanks for using Time Trades, and we'll talk again next week. Bye now.